We don't have any moral right at this moment to criticize the NDC because we have failed in all flaws. Failed. And we need to get the moral high ground before we can criticize the NDC. If we don't have the moral high ground, we can never do that. Except a dishonest politician. Except somebody who doesn't have that kind of political, purging. And Obeka say, sorry, now you criticize the NDC at the moment. That's one time you talk about Galamsey when we all know say NDC messed up in 2012, 2016. They messed up with Galamsey. When we came, we should have used that opportunity to change the system, to show to Ghana and say, yay, we are better than them. We can do better. But what happened? Our very own people were messing up with Galamsey. And yet, we were kicked out of power for propaganda. And then you have come back in opposition now. You want to come and tell Ghanaian people, say, you are better off. It will take a foolish, strategic politician to talk like that. Because Ghanaians will not buy it. Nobody will buy that. And you need to understand that Ghana electors, omunyan kwasiafo. Sebi omuni mnyansa chen ye kasam. Sebi omuni mnyansa. Omajunimu daho.
Asemaba, His Excellency the President John Dramani Mahama, Wakasa, our United Nations General Assembly, Nase, Ebusia, President Mahama, essay, and Kane Mreno, a trim, Siciano, and Yadia, Yebeja, and Rofono Quince, Omumana, Omefa, Japadia, Mechre, gold, diamond, silver, Mechre, a good year, and what assassin, City Beya, Ombetua, Ombefa Cassia, Edia Corner, Yenia Assassino, and Asa Japadiano, Ayadiano, now Omeja Kakrebi, or Sidebida, Cia, the Yamo Quansabium, na emumono ombe kisho se negotiation pa ebekos se de beya ombe 2 year Japadiano edekwa yene yebenya the bigger share no na omuso enya kakra edeko the President Mahama ewo adwempo ebusia mayentie de kakra na mesenya ba.
The days of parceling out vast concession areas to foreign interests for exploitation must come to an end. We'll continue to welcome foreign investment, but we must negotiate better for a bigger share of the natural resources that belong to us.
That's true.
And we must insist on value addition to these resources. We're tired of the continued image of poverty-stricken, disease-ridden rural communities living at the periphery of huge foreign-controlled natural resource concession areas. We're tired of having people extract the most they can from us and in return offer us the very least by way of respect, consideration, and dignity.
Wow.
We're tired of not being represented in ways that reveal the richness and complexity of our history or acknowledge all that we have overcome to arrive here in this liminal space of untold possibilities. Allow me to echo the Indian-American writer Arundhati Roy, who wrote, another world is not only possible, she is on her way. On a quiet day, I can hear her briefing. I want to add that for the sake of Africa, and quite selfishly for the sake of my 18-year-old daughter, I hope that this new world that is arriving is a place of safety and equality for women and girls.
Sure.
To succeed, we must empower everyone, including women and girls, to reach their full potential. In closing, Madam President, I'd like to congratulate you on your election to preside over this historic 80th General Assembly and on being the 5th woman to hold this distinction. I'd also like to congratulate Her Excellency Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman on being the first woman Vice President of Ghana.
Now, you said you were not going to introduce taxes. You are now introducing e-levy, and your e-levy is more expensive than the e-levy you repealed. If you put all the taxes, the e-levy you repealed, how much Ghanaians were paying for that e-levy compared to how much Ghanaians will pay? You have said, I'm not the one saying so. Please, if you go to your report, the report is talking about the amount to be expected in this. Look at page 4, paragraph 8.0. Your e-levy is going to impose a huge burden that will cost the Ghanaian taxpayer in excess of 5.7 billion cedis. The e-levy that you repealed was less than 2 billion. The e-levy that you repealed was less than 2 billion. The e-levy that you are imposing now is 5.7 billion plus. Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Soini, I believe you are being interruptive. Please resume your seat. Honorable Soini, kindly resume your seat. I take offense from the statement that have you taken my girl.
Mr.
Honorable members, we are honorable members, we must behave as such. Honorable Sahin, you have the floor.
Mr. Speaker, you didn't add the Togbi to it. It's Togbi or Sahin, you know. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Suhini is your own friend. Sometimes you should take it easy, he's your own friend. Sometimes you don't call him. That's why he said you've taken his thing. So if you've taken his thing, give it to him.
You have the
Speaker,
floor. You have the floor.
Very well. Very well. Mr. Speaker, they are today imposing 4 cedi 50 pesos on a gallon, on each gallon of petrol. On each gallon of petrol, you are imposing e-levy of 4 cedi 50 pesos. Mr. Speaker, I want to read portions of the report. Mr. Speaker, the minister said, under object of the bill, I quote, paragraph 5.0, the purpose of the bill is to amend the Energy Sector Levies Act 2025, Act 1135, to increase the rates of the energy sector shortfall and debt repayment levy in order to raise additional revenue to support the payment of energy sector's shortfall, reduce energy sector debt, and stabilize power supply. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Kwame Agboja was talking about payment of road contractors. Mr. Speaker, for the records, this bill, this levy is not for the payment of road contractors. Mr. Speaker, this e-levy is going to pay for the pay or take contract that you signed in 2015. This e-levy. Mr. Speaker, in 2015 in this house, Dr. Mark Esebe-Yabua took the NDC government to the Supreme Court, questioning the government on why it was signing power purchase agreement without recourse to Parliament. This government defended its action and said that, well, ECG had its own board. And to the extent that ECG was a limited liability company, albeit government being a sole shareholder, they could do their own business. And the Supreme Court upheld that argument for them. And that is why all those contracts were signed. Can you tell us how many power purchase agreements were signed by the Akufo-Addo government?
Ebusia Asemaba, His Excellency the President John Dramani Mahama, edging the 1992 Constitution, Article 144(1) or so, the new Chief Justice after say Madam Getu Araba Tokono Elusu Sasitino. Ebusia Article 144(1) Emma the President and to me say Chief Justice be anywhere and I say opese o appoint a new chief justice obetumi agina sa article no so na wayi a new chief justice enti bra me ni uka say his excellency the president John Dramani Mahama the acting chief justice after say Madam Getu Arabato kono suspending no that time ebepi me no ono ene the acting me kire justice Paul Bafu Boni enti ebusia efri ene edeko Mr. Justice Paul Bafu Boni ono ene babaye Ghana chief justice ebusia na article no ekire se wugina sa amra no so na se bia wo boni panidin a esese wodi ni din no e de command the council of the state members into his excellency the president John Dramani Mahama edi Mr. Paul Bafu Boni ni din e de akwa command the council of the state members no so ebusia the council of the state members no e be hwe edi no na omo hwe omo bobu ho enti se a mistake bi e wo ho anase bia efutuo bi e wo di no ho anase nipa no ho na se bia omo di betu president no fo a no omo tu no fo after that no na president no so no na omaba na omo inaugurate no na waba beye the main chief justice oba be di Ghana so ebusia his excellency the president John Dramani Mahama me kire our supreme leader no me ni ukase Paul Bafu Boni yeah ono papa no the way wa ben no enye easy yes papa no wa bion wa be watenemu a medinka ka kire o se sa papa we ono krampo no odinkan ekoye fenesen odinkan ansa na Madam Getu Arabato komoni ade mo nyina eba enti no we seniority enti no sa na eko enti ebusia efin na edeko no enche his excellency the president John Dramani Mahama onya fi UK anase bia US enya bape the president John Dramani Mahama no eyade a council of the state members no edi no futu bi omode betu the president no omode betu no na after that no omo inaugurate no na papa no omo senatade as a new chief justice Ghana yenya